Everyone, I'm everyday Buddyfighter, and this is another video. Actually, another just same day. Honestly, doing things pretty cool. But this is Folktale, which is the final deck from the Ultimate Booster used by Mel in the anime. I feel like out of all the decks, this is probably the weakest one because it's too reliant on its item. That's the problem. And as soon as people know that, they just start destroying your item, and then they're like, "Well, I have no item left. That's it. I scoop. I guess that's all you got." Because a lot of your strongest cards rely on your item, or like need you to like be able to stack monsters somewhere. So without the item, you're kind of screwed. But of course, the set spell does exist, so your opponent can't destroy it. But usually, people find a way around it. So anyway, so my opponent completes Galaxy Formation, which is a bummer for me. But I do have a plan because I have Snow White Dragon in my hand. Snow White Dragon lets me pay 2 gauge as a counter, so I'm gonna destroy Steph, put it into Electrodeity Soul, and call it Steph's Rest Cross Forever, so it can't attack anymore. And Snow White Dragon will destroy Fret, making sure the Galaxy Formation is destroyed. And now that his item can't do anything to my monster, he has to end his turn, which is good. So, what Folktales really do is they pretty much use their item to stack a bunch of monsters in Soul, and they become super aggressive. Like they can OTK pretty easily, but it kind of also there's also like some setup required, which is not very fun, honestly. Like especially in Ace era, using setup is not really the most reliant strategy. So here, my opponent is going to use no defense occupation, but Krista's skill does apply since I have her on the field. I give my other cards 4,000 power and penetrate. So my White Dragon is strong enough to kill, and because he has penetrate, he will still take a damage, double attack, and triple attack. So at this point, I don't need Snow White Dragon anymore. So I'm going to just use Electrodeity Soul to just call 2 Swords Hexen. Swords Hexen, even though it has crit reduced at first, does give itself extra crit assist. There are 2 crit for me, and now I can just attack it per game. Even defense occupation doesn't work anymore, so that's game. GG. Folktales are, like, obviously they're very cute cards. I do like the artwork for them, but like in this instance, you see, like I have a bunch of search cards in my hand, which is great. But I'm like, okay, like I still need my item. Like, please, please, please. So Emma, Miracle Fires to get the item this time, which is all I need, really, honest. So Folktale, get my item, get my Fantasy Tea Time. I Swords Hexen to Soul Gauge and draw another Emma, which is good, but I'm going first, so that's a little bummer. I could use the Grim Ash in my hand, but I know that not really much of a point to on the first turn. That I don't get to hit him with Emma, so I don't get to put a card in my soul. He's playing Dark Heroes, which can be very tricky to deal with. Right now, here he goes Waste his cards with Dark Hero, which will kill my item, but thank you for Soul Guard. And of course, Kill Knight kills my Gauge, which is like, ugh. But here he does make a mistake, which actually is the reason I won. He made a really big mistake. So he's going to attack first with Mukuro. I'm going to use my card Deadly Serious Truthful to just destroy it by itself. Then I can draw 2 cards and gain 2 life instead of having to deal with, you know, all that penetrating mess. He's going to destroy Steph with Waste. Steph's skill will activate, which will rest his other card. Since that card can't battle once it's rested, it stays on the field, which means that Mukuro can't use his skill on my turn, which is good for me. So I'm gonna go for another Miracle Fighter, try to get Fantasy the Thorn Dragon, just in case, because it does prevent Mukuro from standing, which means he can't battle, so just in case. Grim Ash does help me out, get 3 cards in Soul. Call another Emma, because of course, after unfreezing though, we're gonna get Hexen Ceremony, since Hexen Ceremony is a counter, and it will let me draw Engage, which I really need. So I'm gonna, even though I'm gonna put 12th Witch into the drop, I am just gonna put Hexen instead, because I like the Hexen prevents my Sisters from being destroyed. Just in case. Call Emma. And we're going to attack phase. Mukuro can't use his skill, so I'm just safe to attack and just keep stacking souls into my item. Double attack, and then again another Emma, which is good for me. Honestly, here I probably should have used Hexen Ceremony first, and then been able to call Emma and Swords Hexen, since that would have been a total of 10 damage, but my opponent knows it's game over, so he just quits right there. And that's a good game for me. Final game is against Thunder Knights, for the most part. This is one of those weird hybrid decks, because Burn is an engine, it's not really a deck type, you know? So So he's going to use his draw cards. He's going to call Halberd Dragon, which can destroy monsters on my turn, which was a bit of a big pain in my ass because, you know, obviously I need to attack with Emma, and if Emma's destroyed, then I can't do anything about it. So, but one of the presents will protect my item, which is nice. I'm going to get my item out immediately. Get my item, Folktale, 12th Witch, which is a very good card to have. Because right here I use the skill, first we're calling it Biblio. Putting Steph into the card Soul, Gauge, Life, and a drop, which is good. Fantasy Tea Time is also pretty nice too, but we already used it. So Steph is just gonna, you know, just sit there, and I'm gonna just enter my attack phase. He's gonna use the counter card Drago Bond to make sure that his card can't be destroyed, which is a bummer for me. But Hex is turn when he counters, so Gauge and 2 draw. I draw into Grim Ash, which I'm like, could have drawn that sooner, but what can you do? So I'm just going to attack his other monster since I can't bust through. Really saying. I think my opponent honestly bricked because he used Sky Dragon Infinity twice, so you don't really do that unless you kind of brick. So he's going to place 2 set spells, and at this point, just kind of go into attack phase. He will destroy 7 dwarves, and Steph will just force it to rest, so kind of a bummer. But I do know the attack with Stuffle just to draw a card and gain 2 life, just to make sure I don't like fall under like a really low threshold. Then X Biblio skill will just let me call cards from the soul at the end of my opponent's turn because it's still a counter, so it's only once per turn. So it's during either player's turn, so of course gotta use it. Grim Ash, get 3 cards in soul, which is awesome for me. Sadly, I can't keep Miracle Fighter, which is like, ugh, but I do get the buddy called Emma this time, which I know will be destroyed by Halberd Dragon if I use it, so I'm just going to set up for later by calling Snow White, by adding Snow White to my hand, Fantasy Tea Time, get that Schwartz Hex in, just in case. So, now going to attack phase, he's going to destroy Emma, of course, I forgot to draw a card, honestly, that's on me, but it doesn't really impact the rest of the game. Crystal skill activates even in the soul of the item, so it's enough power to take down Halberd. Penetrate, use Biblio. So you can see what I mean by Folktales being OTK potential super easy. But of course, you know, this is a setup, so kind of really isn't that easy. But that's all Folktales pretty much are. They require some setup, but when they go off, they go off. Well, I'm Everyday Buddyfighter, and this has been Folktales. By the end of the week, I'll have all those deck profiles ready for you. So I'll see you later.